What is the relationship between a student's mental health state and writing? I recently asked myself this question when I noticed that my writing changed at certain moments in past years, and at those moments my mental health was in a negative state. While researching this relationship, I discovered many studies that have been done in the effects writing has in a person's mental health. Many of these studies are in the field of psychology and therapy with primal focus in persons dealing with depression. However, I want to focus on a particular population, students. For this reason, I decided to conduct my own research to gain insight into how students' writing is affected by their mental state and how this information can help teachers and educators. In planning my research, I decided to conduct interviews since it was the best method in gathering qualitative data into how students were affected by their mental state. Because I chose to research a subject that deals with the emotions of a person, I knew that asking personal questions could lead to uneasiness and uncomfortableness in the students, and therefore I decided to interview people whom I met recently. I found 2 students whom I met on campus within the last 6 months that allowed me to interview them. I continued by developing a series of questions and follow-up questions with the goal of targeting events in the students' past where they were going through a negative mental state and recounting if there were any effects in their writing. My first interview was with a student named Alexa who is a junior at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, UTRGV. The interview with Alexa focused more on her emotional and negative mental experiences in the past due to certain problems she had with her family. These circumstances led to a change in her views and in her academic performance. My second interview was with a sophomore at UTRGV named Alex. Our interview was shorter than the interview with Alexa, which was due to an unexpected response. To Alex, his academic performance was not affected greatly even when going through negative mental stages, and this intrigued me since I had the initial thought that our writing was affected in some way. He mentioned that the writing which he mostly did was academic and he would always try to separate his emotions and daily life with schoolwork. Overall, the information that I gathered from my interviewees reached a consensus that for the most part, our writing is influenced by our mental and emotional state. With this result, I am able to see a linear relationship between writing and the mental state of a person. That is, performance, interests, thought process and views are areas that were affected by the mental state of the participants, and for some this was also reflected in writing. I was surprised to listen one of my interviewees mention that there was little effect in the performance of his writing when going through a negative mental state. This provides another perspective and allows me to understand that the relationship between writing and the emotional state of a person is not absolute but rather it is subjective to each person. This ties down to the identity of a person and how our writing can reflect how we deal with certain emotions. The results of my interviews demonstrate possible reasons for the quality of a student's writing. This can be a sign for teachers to look for alternative teaching methods which could be beneficial to the student's writing and mental health. This allows for teachers to understand that writing can not only be influenced by the current mental state of students but also by the personality of the student. Teachers and educators should then experiment with new teaching methods or activities when they notice a poor performance in a student's writing. The cause could be the emotional state of the students and not only poor learning. In this case, teachers could use writing as a tool to improve the mental state of students by engaging in more expressive writing assignments such as journal entries or reflections. These assignments could improve the performance along with the mental health of a student.